Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive, where we take those really amazing tracks and we kind of pull them apart and see what makes them tick. And today is no exception. We're diving into Impulsein, an amazing piece by a new artist, Jean-Philippe Ruelle. Now, this is an 8-minute masterpiece, so more than just a song, right? It's a whole journey exploring impulsive love.
Yeah, and what really strikes me about Ruel is that he's got this blend of like intricate electronic elements and, these really moving melodies. He creates these soundscapes that are, both stimulating, but they're also emotionally evocative, I think.
Yeah, and Impulsein is like a prime example of this.
Mm.
Right away, like first beat, you're swept up in this energy. The rhythm is so rapid, it almost feels like a heartbeat accelerating, right? And it just captures that feeling of like a sudden attraction.
And it's amazing, all this from his home studio in Mons, Belgium.
Yeah, right. You think of electronic music and it's like these big studios, but
Yeah.
it just goes to show that the most powerful art can sometimes come from the most unexpected places.
Yeah.
But back to that opening rhythm, it's not just fast, it's technically amazing. It's almost like, he's showing off a little.
Yeah, it's like a warm-up before the concerto. He's just laying the foundation for the emotional depth that is about to unfold.
Exactly. And then at about the 51-second mark, things change. The intense beat changes, giving way to a lighter rhythm. And then you hear these piano arpeggios, and they kind of emerge, and they create this really cool sound against the electronic backdrop.
It's so masterful, this shift. It's like, like a painter using light and shadow to create depth. The electronic sounds are so sharp. And then the softer piano sounds, it just captures that, complex nature of love, the thrill, the tenderness.
It's almost like he's visually representing those emotions, right?
Yeah.
The initial rush with the fast beat, and then it's like your rational side saying, hold on, wait a minute, slow down. And it's kind of like this conversation.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because the vocals in this song are wordless.
Oh, that's right. Micheline van Houtem's vocals they float above it all, just adding this otherworldly layer. And I read somewhere that Ruel chose to have wordless vocals to give the listener space to create their own narrative, their own response.
That's brilliant. It makes the listener an active participant, not just a passive observer. And speaking of her vocals, they blend seamlessly with the electronic elements, but they still have this human quality to them.
Yeah, her voice is like a bridge between the organic and the mechanical, reminding us that even with technology, it's human emotion that really matters. And she's so restrained in her delivery, it's like her voice just melts into the music, which is really artistic. It's like a beautiful dance. But then, around the 3.39 mark, the song shifts again. The energy changes so much, and the piano takes over, like center stage. It's so intimate and vulnerable.
I felt that so strongly. Like that initial attraction has gone, and it's just quiet introspection. Like after the excitement fades, the piano's melody is beautiful but melancholic, evoking this sense of longing and nostalgia, the emotions that linger after something intense has passed.
It's like, the realization that everything's starting to crumble, and you're left trying to figure out what went wrong and where to go next.
Yeah, it's like he's guiding us through those emotions, from that first spark to the fade.
And what's interesting is the piano, it's melancholy, but it doesn't feel sad. More like contemplation, a time to reflect on, what was and what might be. Fleeting experiences can still leave a mark.
This part, it's like, when the dust settles after a storm, and you can look around and see what's left. It's effective. And as the piano leads, her vocals get even more expressive.
Yeah.
They're still wordless, but they have this depth that words can't really capture. Her improvisations, like whispers, they blend with the piano and create this dialogue, and it's almost like a movie.
This is where you can tell he's really good at blending genres. Classical piano and then these modern electronic textures. It creates something that feels timeless and modern at the same time.
Yeah, it's like he's bridging those worlds, showing that beauty and innovation can actually exist together. And his balance is incredible. The warmth of the piano and then the cool electronic beats. It's multi-layered, it's complex, but it's also very accessible, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's what makes it so special. You don't need to know a lot about music to appreciate it. It speaks to something we all understand emotionally.
Exactly. And speaking of connecting emotionally, let's talk about the production quality, right? Everything is so well done and balanced. The electronic beats are crisp, the piano resonates, and her vocals, they're ethereal, just pristine.
He really knows how to create immersive sounds. This is no exception. The quality is so good that you completely lose yourself in the music. You can feel it.
It's a sonic sanctuary, right?
Yeah.
You escape from the noise of the world, and you can just exist in this beautiful sound.
And that's what makes it impactful. It's not a song, it's an experience. It's a journey, into human emotion, crafted so well that it stays with you.
And on that note, I think it's time for our listeners to actually hear Impulsein. Pay attention to how he takes you through that shift, how the music makes you feel things that words can't describe.
And it's relatable. Who hasn't felt that pull, that like impulsive attraction, that excitement that makes you, just forget everything and jump in?
Totally. It's that feeling of being right on the edge,
Yeah.
of something exciting and scary at the same time. Like you might be making a huge mistake, but you just can't resist.
And that's what makes the song so powerful. He gets that double feeling, right? The
Yeah.
attraction, but also the danger of impulse.
It's like he understands that the best times can come from, being a little reckless, stepping out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people feel that way, especially now when we're always told to plan and be in control. Sometimes, it's okay to just let go, see what happens.
Yeah. There's something beautiful about just surrendering to the moment, going with the flow, even if you don't know where it leads.
And impulsing it's like that in music. It's saying, embrace the unexpected, enjoy it.
It reminds me of back in college, I went to a concert with a friend. Even though I had this huge exam the next day, I knew I should be studying. But live music, escaping the pressure, I couldn't resist.
So, did you ace that exam?
Let's just say I learned about time management the hard way.
We've all been there, throwing responsibility away and just going for it.
And sometimes those decisions, the reckless ones, they become the best memories. Like that quote, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Oh, I love that quote. So true. And this song, it reminds you that sometimes no plan is the best plan.
Right. Trusting your gut. Embracing what you don't know. Seeing where things go. And sometimes you end up with something like Impulsein.
And speaking of journeys, the way he put this song together is fascinating. It's like an adventure. You start with all this energy, like adrenaline, and then slowly you go into this introspective place with the piano and Micheline Van Hattem's voice.
It's like the stages of that impulsive love. You feel that rush, and then you realize maybe it's not what you thought. And the last part, it's almost ethereal, like a memory fading of something beautiful.
It's like he's showing us how those moments, the ones that fade, they still stay with us, in our hearts, bittersweet.
It's poetic, and that's what makes his music so special. It's not just sound, it's a whole experience. You step into his world, and you feel everything.
And it's all so deliberate, The melodies, the soundscapes, everything has a reason. It's like a perfect puzzle where each piece creates this whole picture. Emotional.
And it's complex, but not overwhelming. It's accessible, even if you're not into electronic music.
Yeah, you don't need to be an expert to feel the beauty, the emotion. It's a language everyone understands.
It's like he's tapping into something primal. That's at our core.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so powerful. It reminds us of what really matters. Connection, emotion, the human experience.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about these deep dives, right? It's not just about the technical stuff. It's about the emotions, memories, what the music makes you think of.
It's those moments where you connect, when something just clicks and you feel understood. And Impulsein, it does that. It really speaks to your heart, and it reminds you that music can be so powerful.
Listening to this, it makes me think about all the times in life where you just have to take that leap of faith. Trust your gut and go for it,
Yeah.
even when it doesn't make sense.
It's those impulsive things we do that can end up being the best, right? It's like saying yes to an adventure, not knowing where you'll end up.
Exactly. And sometimes those decisions, the ones you make without thinking too much, they're the best ones. They change things up, make you see things differently, open up new doors.
Think about the times when you just followed your heart. Maybe it was a trip you took or a job you changed. Even just being kind to someone. It's those moments when you don't overthink it that you really learn about yourself.
I think this song, it's like a tribute to those moments,
Yeah.
celebrating that part of us that's spontaneous, passionate, willing to embrace the unknown.
And reminding us that sometimes the best things are the ones we don't see coming. They surprise you and they stay with you.
So to everyone listening, embrace those impulses. When you feel inspired, go for it. And let Impulsein be your soundtrack. Let the music take you on that journey of discovering yourself, exploring your emotions. And you can find the full track in the description below. It's something you won't want to miss.
And as you listen, think about those times in your life when you did something impulsive. How did those moments change you? What did you learn from them?
Music is powerful. It can unlock memories, bring back feelings, connect us to something bigger. Impulsein shows us that. It's a song about being human, feeling things deeply, living to the fullest, and being okay with the ups and downs. Life's unpredictable.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope it's inspired you to find those moments of beauty in your own life, the impulsive ones. Until next time, keep exploring, keep listening, and keep diving deep.